Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I think this is Ilkley Moor, and I actually live just over that corner there, and I do feel like a little bit like a grouse on that moor, being sat right in the centre of the heather, but hopefully nobody's going to shoot me or do anything else, shepherd me or anything else that they do on Ilkley Moor. So good afternoon, everyone. My name's Mandy Ridyard. I'm the chair of the West Yorkshire Business Board and advisor to Tracy Brabin, Mayor of West Yorkshire. I also chair Space Up Yorkshire, the regional space cluster. We're one of 15 space clusters across the UK funded by Space Agency. And what we talk about is less about astronauts and more about the use of space data for things like climate change, but also the sustainability of space itself. And as it's almost International Women's Day, it will be remiss of me not to mention that the very first astronaut from the UK was indeed female, and she was indeed from Yorkshire, Helen Sharman, so it's great to see that. And whilst we're talking about flight, I also have an aerospace engineering business, please don't all boo at once, called ASG Produmax, which is based in Bradford. Our workforce is 27% apprentices, and we work on the electrification of flight, but also on making the current planes that are being built more efficient. And our workforce is 27% apprentices, and at any one time of the commercial aeroplanes that are flying around the world, almost 70% of those have a component on them made by my business in Bradford, by my apprentices actually, which fills me with pride and hopefully doesn't fill you with too much trepidation if you fly, because they are absolutely brilliant. So a very, very warm welcome to Yorkshire. And that's definitely not a comment about the weather, although it is really sunny today. And although we can't always guarantee sunshine here, what we can guarantee is world-class innovation, brilliant people, and a region that gets things done. So it's a real milestone to welcome Reset Connect here, marking the first time this major UK sustainability conference and event has come to the north. Bringing Reset Connect to West Yorkshire is more, though, than just a venue. It's a recognition of the strength, ambition, and innovation that takes place in the north. And it's a real reflection on the momentum of this region's innovation ecosystem. And so the theme of innovation and transformation could not be more fitting, especially as this event coincides with the West Yorkshire Innovation Festival that's taking place over the next 10 days. Let's face it, to solve huge challenges like the climate crisis, there are three possible levers: legislation, adaptation, and innovation. But as we saw with the pandemic and the vaccine, the one that really moves the dial is innovation. That innovation is no longer optional. It's about future resilience, and it drives future prosperity. And nowhere is that more visible, more urgent, or more significant than in the clean energy transition. Innovation in this context means products and services, but also new ways of thinking, new partnerships, new financial models, and new approaches to deploying solutions at scale. West Yorkshire firms are already seizing the growth opportunities of transformation and transition. Our green economy cluster is highly diversified, rapidly growing, and home to 3,000 businesses generating over £8 billion in GVA. We recognise these strengths and the scale of the prize on offer through our commitment to growing the cluster and providing businesses with the support, the innovation, and the talent that they need to succeed. True opportunities for innovation lie in combining our cluster strengths across digital and data, across advanced manufacturing, engineering and design, and all the other wonderful cluster work that we have going on in this region, because when those capabilities come together, we see innovation that shapes change and stays ahead of the curve. Across West Yorkshire, innovators are demonstrating that climate action and economic growth are not competing aims, but go hand in hand. Companies like Earthchain, like Test Consulting and Centauri are using AI and real-time data to track and reduce carbon emissions across global supply chains and major energy projects. That delivers environmental benefit and competitive advantage through lower risk, higher transparency, and more efficient operations. Firms such as Electric Commercial Vehicles, who I was in Switzerland and Germany with last week, and also Pelican EV and Aegis Energy are tackling the challenges of decarbonising transport and logistics, including HGVs, building zero-emission fleets, developing clean transport hubs, and creating skilled jobs while strengthening local manufacturing and exporting West Yorkshire innovation around the world. These businesses succeed because they draw on our cross-cluster strengths to create a pipeline of innovations with global relevance and local economic value. As my grandma used to say, the money is often down at the back of the sofa, and it's where you don't look that we actually find innovation and opportunity, and crossing clusters together is my version of finding some cash down the back of the sofa. Supporting innovators like those, we must ensure our businesses have access to key things. Those things include things like access to finance, access to the right places to grow, access to talent, and access to world-class applied research. And it's great to know that we're working on all those things. West Yorkshire is home to 7 brilliant universities. They contribute not only brilliant talent in this region, I think we have 10% of the UK population of students here, but world-leading expertise in climate science, engineering, digital technologies, and applied research. The opportunity now is to turn that excellence into a continuous pipeline of skills, industry partnerships, applied R&D, and innovation assets that fuel our regional economy. We know that climate innovators often face long commercialisation journeys. Sometimes it can be years from prototype to market. So with patient blended, risk-aware, mission-aligned finance, innovators can scale. And when they scale, they deliver the jobs, the exports, and the supply chain growth that this region needs. We know that innovators also need places to be, sites with secure, low-cost, low-carbon energy, strong grid capacity, and modern industrial infrastructure. So our role as a combined authority is to ensure that access to knowledge, finance and place is fair and equitable across all innovators. We also recognise that if we limit the conversation to a narrow definition of the green economy, we miss the bigger opportunity. The prize of transformation and innovation spans every sector. We've got to be both innovative and inclusive in our approach to decarbonisation. Securing energy sovereignty for our businesses and residents through clean, affordable, reliable energy is a key driver of growth. Our Driving Sustainable Business Growth Plan helps businesses lower emissions and unlock cost savings, supporting both environmental imperatives and economic opportunity. But we can't shy away from hard conversations, including those with industrially and historically high-emitting sectors that stand to gain the most from reduced energy costs and increased long-term competitiveness. Look at the Aerospace Technology Institute, ATI, and its commitment to net zero aviation by 2050. This mission alone creates opportunities across materials, fuels, components, testing and digital systems, many of which align with West Yorkshire's regional strengths. By encouraging innovative and inclusive approaches, we can unlock a whole new world of economic opportunity, as well as potential solutions to some of the globe's hardest challenges. That cross-cluster thinking is already driving growth. Consider Space Hub Yorkshire. We bring together the region's strengths in space technology, including Earth observation and satellite data. This data is supporting climate monitoring, agricultural optimisation, and financial risk modelling. It's also leading on national programmes like UK EON's Earth observation for sustainability and Green Space, which is a green finance initiative. This is innovation at the intersection of clusters, and that economic prize is enormous. We also know that there are firms that could gain significant market share from the green transition, but have not yet recognised their role in that supply chain. West Yorkshire is home to world-class valve, pump and compressor manufacturers, businesses that could be supplying the UK's rapidly expanding heat pump and clean heat markets. Some already are. For example, White Wolf Cylinders supplies 30% of that UK heat pump market, but we know there are other businesses that can get involved too, especially as they're transitioning from oil and gas. Our responsibility as a combined authority is to ensure all companies can access those opportunities, translating regional growth plans and national clean energy missions into local contracts and local jobs. The economic prize of innovation and transformation is clear: inclusive growth, better jobs and global competitiveness. We need innovation not only in the products and services our firms create, but in how we partner and how we design support to achieve that. Support must operate across the whole ecosystem, with all partners aligned around shared goals and clear pathways. If we want to win the prize of innovation and transformation for West Yorkshire, we must firstly back our innovators. We must mobilise finance in new ways for scale-ups and energy infrastructure. We must unlock access to clean and affordable energy. We have to support supply chains into entering new markets, and we will have to work together as an ecosystem to build an effective system of support. Innovation is the path, transformation is the process, and net zero is the prize. A prize measured not only in lower emissions, but in growth, in good jobs, new markets, resilient supply chains, and a more prosperous, productive West Yorkshire. Our innovators are capable, our industries are ambitious, and our partnerships need to be strong. So together, we intend to move quickly, to innovate boldly, and to transform decisively. And we want to ensure that everyone shares in that prize of transformation, one defined by innovation, productivity, and opportunity. Thank you for your time today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.